What's going on, Battlefielders, and welcome back to another weapon review. Now, in this series so far I've taken a look at the various Ace carbines, but today it's time to take a look at the big boy from the assault rifle category, the Ace 23. Now, I've known right from the early days that this was one of the most favoured weapons in Battlefield 4 and I've had it unlocked for a fair while, but this is actually the first time I've actually got around to playing with this weapon. With all the praise that I've seen for this one, I kind of knew what to expect, and thankfully it did live up to expectations, so well, let's crack on with my little review of the Ace 23 and take a look at its various stats and figures. So just like most of the ARs in Battlefield 4, the Ace 23 comes out with the typical damage figures of 25 dropping off to 18. This only gets the Ace 23 and most of the other assault rifles a 4 out of 5 for this figure, simply because there's the Scar H with its mammoth damage figures of 35 to 25, which kind of trumps everything else in the category. And likewise with the shots to kill, that 25 dropping off to 18 results in 4 to 6 shots to kill, but again this only gets a 4 out of 5 simply because of the high damage of the Scar H. The rate of fire for the Ace 23 is pretty good, it's just around in that sweet spot of fire rates. 770 rounds per minute is slightly above average, but it's not too crazy high that you're going to burn through all your ammo and run those mags dry too fast. And one slightly arbitrary stat for the assault rifles is the muzzle velocity. At 620 meters per second, the Ace 23 doesn't have the slowest firing round, so you're not going to find that you're going to have to lead your targets too much or try and overly compensate for bullet drop. The Ace 23 continues its good stats when we take a look at the recoil plots. This weapon has pretty low values all around, particularly on those side-to-side recoil values, which is the most crucial characteristic for any weapon's controllability. The upwards recoil value isn't the lowest out of the whole category. There are quite a few weapons that do kick less, but it's not one of the weapons that's going to try jumping out of your hands, especially if you control that recoil through burst firing. The Ace 23 comes in with the maximum capacity possible, 30 rounds in its magazine, and those mags can be swapped out pretty fast at 2.1 seconds or 3.1 seconds from totally empty. This 2.1 second chambered reload time is almost as fast as you can get from the Battlefield 4 assault rifles. 1.8 seconds is the fastest from the M16 and the M416. But where the Ace 23 kind of falls behind is in that full 3.1 second reload time. With the likes of the M416 and the M16, they've got those bolt release catches which drop the bolt and shorten that long reload time down to about 2.5 seconds. Due to the design of the Ace 23 though, you're going to have to perform that full 3 second reload, which takes into consideration the animation where the soldier's got to rack that charging handle. But overall the Ace 23 did live up to expectations. I knew it was going to be one of the best weapons in the game when I started playing around with it for this weapon guide, and it certainly didn't disappoint. This weapon's got good stats in all the right places. We've got a nice rate of fire, controllable recoil, as well as quite a fast reload time. Plus there's one extra little benefit of using the Ace, and that's that you get the sought after Coyote sight as one of the first unlocks. That long 3 second reload time is really the only drawback to using this weapon when compared to the M416. If only there was the ability to equip extended mags in Battlefield 4 just like there was in Battlefield 3, that would have kind of helped avoid that long 3 second reload, since you could drop out those mags while you've still got a bullet chambered. In my review of the M416 I gave it a 5 out of 5, so I think it's only fair to give the Ace 23 an overall rating of 4.5 out of 5. It might seem a bit critical with holding that half a star simply because of that long 3 second reload from totally empty, but I found there's plenty of situations where that long reload time kind of left you vulnerable, especially if you're used to playing with the M416. You kind of get used to that timing where you can spring back out from behind cover, except that with the Ace 23 you've not actually finished reloading just yet, which often results in your doom. But all in all, I'm kind of splitting hairs between the M416 and the Ace 23. They are both awesome weapons and amongst the best in the whole game, so you're definitely not going to go wrong using the Ace 23 over the M416 or any of the other weapons from the assault rifle category. I think my personal preference does still lie with the M416, but I'd love to know down in the comments which of these two weapons is your favourite. Don't forget, if you ever want to check out any of the previous episodes I've posted in this Battlefield 4 weapon review series, then there's a link in the description to the full playlist where you can find all the episodes conveniently listed. While you're in there, you'll also find my links to Twitter and Facebook, so you can come and say hello and get sneak previews of the content I'm working on next. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.